Hey! Got back from seeing Alita Battle Angel, and it's exactly what the audience said about the film. Start off with, it is amazing how much the media, the journalists, the critics seem to want this movie to fail. Why? But they have the highest of praises for Captain Marvel. Why? But it's one of those things that are like Rotten Tomatoes. Who with the brain goes to Rotten Tomatoes and makes their judgment from any critic? Whether it was, back in the day with the thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm sorry, but who does that? For me, it's always been like, I can do like what I'm doing now, like I'll give a review and my take on it, why I think it was a good movie or a bad movie. But that's it. I'll sit there and I'll recommend it, suggest. I won't sit there and say, go see this, don't go see that garbage. Make it up on your own. That's all it is. Can't believe there are people that would sit there and think, golly gee, they gave this a 10, out of 100. It's garbage. I can't see this. But they gave this movie a 90 out of 100. And it's like, yeah, come on. If you can make up your own opinions, your own minds, you're way further off than any of these other sheeple that exist. So anyway, it's very fascinating that everyone seems in the West wants this movie to fail. But we're getting predictions of 300 million opening weekend for Captain Marvel. Yeah, sure. For both of these movies, that one and this one, a lot of people are going to be like, who is this character? I don't know who this character is. Right. I'm like, no one's that excited about Captain Marvel because who cares about, Captain Marvel? And then Alita, most people are going to be like, who is that? Unless you're in this culture and you know about the original manga and all that stuff there. My favorite thing about this was how everyone, when it first came out, I was one of the very few that wasn't against it. But a lot of people were like, oh, the eyes, what's with her eyes? And I'm like, nice. It's what she's supposed to look like. That's her character design. They're making her look like this is one of the first times I've ever seen from an anime where it looks like it came out from the anime or the manga. And she looks like what she's supposed to. You would think fans and people who want live-action adaptations to be good would be okay with that, but people were ripping it apart, and now when people have seen it, now everyone's like, damn, those eyes, they're beautiful, I got lost in them, they were great, they were a part of... It's like, yeah, take that. Again, haters from the start, very odd. And the hate then was because they didn't like the eyes. They were gorgeous. They were what you want. Again, I'm telling you, we're getting close to that now. Japan, you're getting there. This is waifu for anime. All those anime freaks, waifu, become real. It's getting there. And I've seen some people go who won it? One, Alita, she was cute, she was adorable, and throughout this, I guess you'll find out why the West and all these medias and critics and journalists seem to want this to bomb over the other one. Because you're going to find out through this that, amazingly so, this movie was just a movie, and it told a story. Characters. It was entertainment. Nothing else thrown into it. Which is why this is a success. So anyway, Alita, the story was great. Alita, she was, right from the get-go, she was real. She was genuine. She was a real character. She was something, she had her flaws. Key word, she had flaws. She wasn't I'm sorry, right now, this is why there's an attack, I believe, on everyone else. The UN's going after anime now, again. There's an attack on this because they're not politically correct. They just want to tell a freaking story. No agendas, no politics. They want to tell just a story. And they do it well. Japan, anime, manga, you name it, they do it well. Because they don't do what we do. The last few years, I'm sorry, a lot of movies in the West, unless they're a lot of independent and some indie stuff like that, where they want to tell a story. A lot of it now has to be, let's shove this agenda in there, let's shove this politics in there, let's shove this in there. This didn't do that. This told a story. She was flawed. She was a great character. She was naive. She was innocent. And of course, everyone just loves that kind of stuff. It made her so, cute and, the whole you want to protect type of thing there. Which goes to Dr. Ito, the father, who finds her, brings her back, and then takes her in, and then acts as if she's, his daughter, takes care of her, looks after her, and all that stuff. Then you find out more about him. I was I kind of figured it out on some of the reveals, but I'm glad they were those reveals, because I think that's really good development and story, backstory and all that stuff there. I think that's really well done, and it's good stuff, good writing. That's what it was. She was just naive, innocentness there, and that's what helped her through this. And then when she finds out who she is, what she becomes, how, like, powerful and stuff she can be. Then she gets into this whole, like, I'm cocky and full of myself attitude, which shows that flaws and shows more of this development and more of this, oh my gosh, something happens. And then she has to build herself back up again. She falls and builds up again. Falls, builds up again. What they're trying to do with the female characters nowadays, it seems like they're just trying to make them look like they can do anything. I like realistic, even if they're 2D or fictional characters, real life fictional characters. They're fictional, but they still have to be real, genuine. They still have to have the flaws. Something you can look at and be like, you know, like, I can see that, I can feel for them. You can't feel for someone who is an unstoppable god that can do anything. Star Wars, Rey, I'm sorry. That's what they made her into. I know people are going to be like, oh, you're one of those. It's like, no, that's just what they did. She had, like, no flaws. She could do anything and everything just like that. Alita, like, piece by piece, she can start getting stronger and powerful and do stuff just like that. But even when she could, she would still fall and fail hugely. I just had to do that for, like, maybe offend some people, I don't know. But oh my gosh, she had a lot of realistic tendencies in her personality and her character that you wanted her. She was badass, she was kick-ass, she was funny, she was cute, she was charming, again, she was real. So they're part of you where it's like, yeah, there's a character named Hugo, you get the boy-girl love romance in there. You know, it was kind of like the usual, like, the little cliches, but it was still cute and charming and showed, like, how, again, the whole, like, you're the most human person I know when she's not. And then that start right there is like, are you upset that I'm not fully human? Powerful lines there. One of my favorite lines was the bad guy, one of the bad guys, I would say, when he is like, why would you want to be a servant in heaven when he can be like a ruler in hell? It's like, I kind of like those lines. But there's some good characters, a lot of twists, good action. I'll throw it out there so I'm not biased. I mean, I like James Cameron's, like, other works, but ever since Avatar, I'm sorry, the CGI and the spectacles, yes. The story was just, no. I don't want to say stolen, but, you know, I guess homages for a lot of stuff there, and you're kind of like, come on. But anyway, it wasn't highly original. But yes, I gotta give the guy credit. If getting 4 more avatars means getting stuff like this, then Cameron, I'm all for it. Because this is the first time, because I'm not a fan of CGI, I love the practical effects, I'm a horror buff. And I love the horror movies where you get those awesome practical effects. I mean, good stuff like an Evil Dead, Dead Alive, oh my gosh, I can name so many movies. The Thing. Damn it, I could just... They're so beautiful. And then, like, what I liked about the original Star Wars and all that stuff there, when you had, like, the Muppets and the puppets and the costuming, along with the nice mix of the effects and the models. But now it's all CGI. I'm, like, watching Star Wars, and you can tell there are a lot of parts where it's like, that's totally a CGI character, that's that. You had Infinity War. I mean, it's good stuff, but then there are parts where it's like the thing where Banner takes off the Hulkbuster thing and he's laughing. It looked like his head was badly placed inside the CGI. And then the ending battle sequences for Wonder Woman and Black Panther, good CGI throw up, and then those ending things just looked like it was all just a mix of Flash and cartoon, and it was so fake. It worked for this because they kept the whole world and all the scenes and shots to look like it was supposed to be fake. So I think that's how it worked. It gave that illusion that it was real because you're watching anime, a cartoon or something like that for like these characters. And that the CGI, Cameron, you guys in your company, whatever, you guys did a great job. Keep it up. You also did a good job on the screenplay. And Robert Rodriguez, I'm a huge fan. Always have been. I had no doubts coming into this. I saw Crystal Wallace, I saw Alita, the big eyes. I'm like, dude, she's cute. She looks way cuter than, like your average, girl, because it's the anime eyes. We love the anime girls. We love that look. That's why everyone is attracted to, drawn, and pleased in some way or form to anime because of that look. They brought it to life. Yes. And Robert Rodriguez doing it. He knows how to do the action. He knows how to do the over-the-top stuff. So it worked. Christoph Waltz, love the man. Glorious Bastards, I still think is my favorite performance from him. But then I did love him in Big Eyes. So I don't know. That was and then I can name all of other stuff, Django. But anyway, the man was great. And it was one of those things again where he did the emotional and the drama. It wasn't the over-the-top goofiness that I love from him. So it shows you how good of an actor he is with that. Alita, actress for her, she was great. I liked how at first she worked to move when she was reborn and all that stuff there into she doesn't know much, she doesn't know how to emotion, and then throughout the thing you see her grow and then become more of that emotion and more human and all that stuff there. So she did a great job on that. The eyes, oh my gosh, the eyes have it. Damn, so cute. She was like what you want. Like, waifu come to life. Adorable, and then again, as much as I would like to have been Hugo's character, the boyfriend character, like, damn, she cute and all that stuff there. I don't care if she's not full human, she doesn't have all the parts on there. Love is more than that. That's what I loved about stuff like Makia, anime movie that should have got nominated for the Crunchyroll Awards for Best Film, but it didn't because, bias. And we gave it to My Hero Academia, which is just nothing but an action movie with nothing for it. And just like Makia was a mother-son relationship, kind of like Maleficent and Frozen was more about like family instead of just like, oh, let's with stuff. You had I Want to Eat Your Pancreas recently, where they said they weren't friends, they weren't boyfriend, girlfriend, they were more than that. Their bond was more than that, greater than that. So it's kind of like this with the movie. It's like the love between like her, Hugo, and then her and her father were more of, that type of nature, not just this whole sexual type of stuff. Though I'm sure, as a buddy said, she can probably, with how her body adjusts, she can find a hole for him. This had the flashbang and boom, but it had the story and the characters, which is why this thing it did pretty well. It won #1 at the box office, doing well. But I think again it'll do big in China and Japan. I mean, this type of movies usually do big in China. Japan, you would think, would do like at least something, considering the source material. So this movie hopefully should, even though everyone seems to be against it, except for the audience and fans of it, and I've seen some anime reviewers who usually narc on all this stuff there, and me included, when you see the live-action adaptations like the frickin' Death Note garbage, and Your Name. An Americanized Your Name already sounds like because America's ruining it with the politics, and we gotta swap everything, change everything. This was done the way it should be, and this should set an example for everyone who wants to make those live-action adaptations of games, manga, comics. You should fall for this. I mean, they looked like they were supposed to. It felt like it was. The CGI wasn't too overwhelming. It worked with it. It looked good. And I can't, again, a practical effect guy. I'm not too big on CGI. Because a lot of times, I just mentioned Infinity War and all that stuff there. Damn, there's some bad stuff. I mean, where you can tell, like, yeah, it's totally CGI. What I liked in Infinity War, there was like that, like, one reptilian character, the non-human looking ones. You can see, even looking at them, as good as it was, you can still tell parts in there that's like, that is a CGI character. Like, it just wasn't realistic enough. There were times where I'm watching this, I'm looking at her face, I'm looking at the other characters when they take off the hoods, like the one girl who's battling, she's just the head on the robotic body, and the movements, and the big guy, that was Jackie Earle Haley, holy crap, still looked like him, like, how good, like, I've seen some good stuff with CGI in, like, video games. A lot of times you can still tell it's not quite there, but we're getting there. And this really did have that thing where you're like, the real and fake had a good blend into it, and you couldn't tell a lot of times. They did a great job, and she was adorable, she was beautiful, she was tough, she was badass. That's my favorite type of character with the females. Anime and all that there. Action movies, those badass, tough girls. She had the look, the hairstyle, she had the cute boobies, hey, spoilers, but she's at least 300, everyone, okay? She had the look down, she was cute, you root for her, but again, as much as you want to be the guy, I was more like, kind of like, Walt's character, Dr. Ito, where you just want to be there to protect her as like the daughter, must protect type of thing there, because as like cute and hot and stuff she could be, a badass, you want to protect her like, you're the daughter. It's just one of those things where it's like that nurturing, that fatherly instinct kicks in. And I love that about his character. They had all the stuff in there. The story developed nicely. Jennifer Connelly. How did I forget about Jennifer Connelly? She was like, I was never one to be into like, like celebrities and stuff like that. Like, I was never like, the typical, because I know like, But Jennifer Connelly, Labyrinth, she was like, damn, when I was a kid, and yeah, she was, yeah. And she still looks beautiful. She looked beautiful. To this day, I mean, still, like, I love seeing her in there, and she looked really good. She had a good character. I really like what they went with her. You kind of maybe one of those things is like, of course, but at the same time, yay for doing it with her character. Really well done. Like, all the characters are really well made. Even, like, Dr. Ito's assistant, you liked her. She had most, you can tell she cared. These other characters taking care. Hugo, the typical guy that just, like, love at first sight kind of stuff. Or at least for her, because she's not used to stuff. She's just a young girl. Supposedly. Gotta watch what I say. But, it was nice. He was great. You can tell how he felt for her. And then the part with the heart. And telling you, like, realistically, it was very well said. Where it's like, don't just trust anybody. Don't just trust people. Even good people. Don't just give yourself. Don't just do this. Because, even people you love and trust in that seem good, they might not be. And it's really good stuff. There's good characters. It had funny moments. The dog. Good moments, a lot of, like, the CGI, the character design, everything looked good, the music was really good with it. The motorball aspect was really entertaining to watch. It worked. I'm usually not a fan of that kind of stuff there, but it has to work because the story, like, I wasn't a fan of the pod racing and Star Wars, but I was a fan of like this because it actually was a part of the story more so than just watching a race for the effects. This because, well, I don't want to spoil it too much, but there was meaning behind like all this stuff there. And then, like, her journey, everyone's journey, it was really well made. James Cameron, again, 4 Avatars means more of this, or movies like this. With how bad Dragon Ball Evolution was, I swear, you guys need to be working on a Dragon Ball movie. If it's this, it'll be good, it'll do well if it looks like this, for a live action. I'm sure they can pull it off. You know, I like to see more, you know, like, I think they can do a lot of stuff there, you know. Just imagine what they can do with, like, the ecchi and fan service stuff. But anyway, they did a great job in this. Rodriguez, I love your stuff. James Cameron, I was super impressed. I was impressed with all the acting, the characters, the story development. She was not a Mary Sue. She's not Captain Marvel, where the whole thing, like, the whole advertising wasn't all, I'm a woman, her story, her hero. Like, you're shoved, like, we get it, she's a woman, she's fighting. None of that was in the advertising. None of that was in the movie. There was nothing in there that was like, you know, pro-right, pro-left, anti-right, anti-left, you name it. Like, no SJW stuff, no NPC stuff, no alt-right stuff, no, nothing like that. None of that stuff was in this. It was just a story. That's why it was successful, and that's why people over here wanted to fail and say it. But everyone who's seen it said it was either really good or amazing. So, who are you gonna believe? People that had that agenda, well, they give this terrible rate, on average, like 30%, but the movie goes give it like 90-something%, A- score. This is the audience, people who've seen it. I trust people who see movies more than I do critics that see movies. You know, they really genuinely like it. Even the fans of like stuff that I don't like, but I can see people express how much they loved it. And that's more true than just some guy going, oh, this is my job, I have a degree in this. It's like, no, you have no heart. Alita had the strongest heart. You guys don't have it. You need Alita's heart when it comes to like really watching movies and enjoying anime and manga. I like the Kenshin live actions from Japan. They were pretty good, but most of the time they're usually crap. To me, they look like people are just in like cosplay, basically. That's how it looks. Even the Japanese one, a lot of the ones that are cosplay. The Hagenai one was terrible. Senna wasn't blonde. I just don't understand stuff like that. It looks like just cosplay for the anime movies or Dragon Ball Evolution. We all know that. Death Note, they look nothing like, except for the CGI of, what do you call them, from Death Note. But anyway, she looked like what she was supposed to be. Well done movie overall. I loved it. 9.5, 10 out of 10, somewhere around that range. I really enjoyed it. I was going into it kind of excited. For the first time in forever, I went to a movie kind of with a little bit of high hopes, and I wasn't disappointed with it. Usually when I have high hopes for something, it fails for me. This was great. Go see it. Give it a shot. At least judge it for yourself. Don't be scared off by your eyes. They're cute. They're beautiful. We're getting there with this. And again, I feel like the people that hate on this are the ones that don't like that it doesn't push their narrative or agenda. And what I say to them is, F*** you. They're f***ing movies. They're f***ing stories. Leave your agendas for your politics up there. Stay out of our mediums. Leave anime alone. Leave manga alone. Leave our gaming alone. You ruin comics, you ruin films, you ruin television. You're starting to ruin games. Stay away from anime and manga, motherfuckers. And to all you people with this UN bull, they're drawings! Help real people. You all need this heart that she had. She is more real than any of you people. And is that sad or what? Great movie, go see this. Captain Marvel, if you keep shoving this agenda down our throats, you too. Alita's better than you. She'll kick your ass any day, Captain Marvel. The way you're going, who knows? It might be a good movie when I see it. Maybe this is all just some weird PR thing. But I have a hunch that if Captain Marvel, who was supposedly the strongest girl hero, or hero in general of all time, went up against Alita, she'd be dead. So I had to get them before I saw it. Because they were super cheap. But anyway, I got the poster. Grabbed a bunch of these. Ain't she cool? Ain't she cute? Badass. That's how you do a female character. Learn, Western filmmakers. You know, she's 300 for crying out loud. Keep it fappening, yes. Give it a shot. They're pretty cool, all different designs. Look at those goobers. Yeah, pretty cool. Just a regular one, a little dial body. Berserker body, and the motorball body. So yeah, pretty cool.